Welcome back to another message crawler update. I know it's been a couple of weeks and it seems like things are taking longer and longer to build. Must be all the summer heat that's affecting me. But as promised, I have Cellebrite convert tool completed. So let me take you over to my screen and show you what we have going on. So we are in message crawler version 6.0.14. This is a beta version. And as you've seen from a previous video, we had completely rewritten Cellebrite XML module that loads data, puts it into grid, allow you to analyze data, all the good stuff. But what people have asked me is, look, we don't want to analyze, we don't want to do anything with it. We just want to take the XML file and convert it right into RSMF and be done with it. And I absolutely respect that. Not everyone needs to tinker with their data, and they just want an easy way of getting RSMF files. So for that, we can go to Convert, Cellebrite XML, and now we can just perform a conversion. So what I'm going to do is select the file, and I'm going to start the conversion. So I'm going to pick this empty folder over here, and I paste it here. I'm going to run it, and as it runs, I'm going to explain to you what different things do. So I'm going to hit the Start button, and it's going to start reading this XML file. So what we have here is the normal thing you was and prefix custodian if you'd like, but we have three distinct sections. We have instant messages, we have metadata, and files. For instant messages, we're going to load this data, convert to RSMF, and we have similar options we've seen before where we supply phone owner information if the phone owner is blank, and we can create a cross-reference file here. So that's kind of simple. You know, if you select this, you'll get RSMF files and done. But here are all the bonus stuff you can do. And right here is the metadata section. So we can choose to convert our metadata into that file. So what metadata is there? And there could be activity information from your heart monitoring. There could be web browsing history. There could be cookies. There could be Wi-Fi, network information. So all kinds of stuff. And the way it works is message crawler is going to look for any kind of objects that are not instant messages. And within those objects, it's going to look for these fields. And if it's able to find data that matches to one of the fields, it's going to extract it and put it in a DAT file. And what you can do is either add or remove fields to this list. And so what we'll get is a DAT file, we'll get our XML, which is a snippet that was extracted, and we'll get a searchable text that we can use as extracted text for sort of like a global search. The way file section works is inside an XML in the beginning, there is a whole bunch of files that are listed as files that were present on a device. And what we can do is take those files and we can generate that file for them. We can get extracted text, which contains metadata, not the actual extracted text from the file. So if it's a Word document, it's not going to be doing processing. It's just going to generate a file from metadata. We can copy this to a new location so that you can send it to somewhere. And here is a really cool part. We can skip file if it was referenced as an attachment in the instant message section. So if this attachment was present somewhere, well, we don't need to be looking at it again, so we can skip it. And what the save mode does is, since the way I identify if the file was found in instant message is by file name, and file names generally okay, but I'm not 100% confident in all of them. So if I have a duplicate file name, then what we can do is say, look, if there's a duplicate file, we're not sure, we're just going to copy it over anyway. And if you uncheck it, it's going to use the file name to check, but it's going to be a little bit more dangerous. So those are the three things we can do, is we can create RSMF, metadata, and files. Now you can see that the process has finished, so it's a good idea to kind of scroll through and look for any kind of errors, which we can do with this little filter thing, and see if we got some errors. And we do. So what's the error? Unable to find attachment path. So this is normal. If you get a couple of those, that that happens all the time. So those are the errors we have. Again, we can sort on this and we can see that the validation has passed, and see all kinds of information. And we can also export this out to a grid if we need to. So let's go into the folder where export completed and see what we have going on here. And the first thing we'll see is our metadata. So this is the metadata that we have, our sort of like a fake native file, which is the XML. And then we have a text file. And if I open it here, we'll see we have all the metadata about that XML entry. And this is a health information. We have distance traveled, which is 5.3 something, probably flights climbed. So we can close that. And then we have a dat file here that we can open and look at. And again, we see this is our activity sensor data. And if we scroll down, we can see that we have calendar entries, we have email. It's actually not email, it's an email like history or some kind of email fragments. So don't use it to collect email. So we have all kinds of stuff here in the metadata file. So now you can load that to Relativity. For files though, we have the actual native files. So you see we have waves,plists. This is gonna contain a lot of junk. Some of it could be valid, but these are the actual files that were extracted from the phone. And if we look at that file, again, you'll see we have a control number file. It's an edoc. We have IDs, internal paths, all kinds of fun stuff you can play with. And finally, the reason we're here for are these RSMF files, and they are named by the chat number and a date, and they're all saved to a folder. And if we have any instant messages, they're named like that, which again, that's kind of how the previous version of message crawler used to work. So instant messages are messages that are not assigned to any chats to Cellebrite. For whatever reason, it's a thing. And so now we can just take these and load to Relativity, and we're done. So again, you have options. Do you want to get just instant messages? Do you want to include additional metadata? Or do you want native files pulled in as well? The actual workflow for you to follow is going to be specific to what you're trying to accomplish. I'm not going to make any recommendations at this time, especially when it comes to metadata and files, because this is kind of new and I'm still not sure the best way to use this. But that's been Cellebrite Convert. As promised, same technology used for importing, now used for dedicated conversion. Let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in beta, send me an email. I will send you a private link to play with this. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next update.